Hello, back again to my channel, and today actually I want to discuss about web proxy. And yeah, actually I'm already long time not make the video because before I'm work. And today I want to forward my last video about firewall and right now about web proxy. And yeah, before I'm discuss about this chapter, I will introduce myself. I'm Tony, and actually I'm network engineer. And so right now I want to discuss about web proxy. And web proxy itself, this is actually used for intermediate between client and the server. So with proxy, the client will not connect directly with the server. And that we will discuss in this chapter, this is the web proxy that used in the Mikrotik router. Web proxy, this is for the latter will use for intermediate between browser that exists at the computer client with the server that's connect to the internet. Web proxy for the next I will call proxy. Proxy will make requests HTTPS to the web server at the internet as the request the computer client. So the web server will know if that as the request is proxy from the server and not from the computer client itself. If we explain more detail, proxy will receive HTTP request from the computer client and then will make new HTTP request with his name, not from the computer client. HTTPS request from the web proxy, this is will forward to the web server. And web server will receive that HTTPS request and giving HTTP response to the proxy. For the next proxy will forward HTTP response from web server to user that do early request. You can look like at this capture, okay? This proxy implementation very different if you just use NAT masquerade like at the chapter 3 before. If just use NAT, so router Mikrotik just will forward HTTP request that made the computer user to internet. Router will not make new HTTP request with his name. Internet access from computer user or client that just use NAT at the router. Can you look at this capture? Distinguished with picture number 4.1 earlier. Whereas if you just use NAT at the router, so that handle just data packet. But with use proxy, so router Mikrotik can work with check content from HTTP requests as well as detail response. Because of that, proxy often also called as the firewall application, because we'll make new HTTP requests above his name. So router Mikrotik that running proxy will need use resource memory and CPU. That's more big. Compare if you just running NAT, you must always check resource use to prevent router Mikrotik become error. Command that you can use for look uses router resource are like this. Okay. And pay attention CPU load information that giving information how many percent CPU load that still use. At the capture example, you can look if CPU still use 5% from entire resource that router own. If your CPU load close 100%, this sign you must upgrade router specification or disable proxy. Okay, and for the next, we will discuss benefit use proxy.
Hey guys, before we discuss next further about my video, kindly to subscribe. Thanks.
At the chapter before, with use not masquerade, computer already can connect to the internet. Even you can limiting access internet that give to the computer user. That become the question for the next. What you must configure the web proxy. Actually, you cannot configure the web proxy at your router. But actually, there are couple reasons that you can use the web proxy to maximizing your configuration. So number one, web proxy can implement caching content. That means proxy will save couple web content. Web content that already saved can use again if turn out their request for that content again. Because they are caching content, so you will can saving internet bandwidth. Because if they are requests again from same content, proxy will not take again from internet, but just take at the local cache. Number two, you will can do limit to content web that ask the computer client with more detail. For the example, you can do limit to specific URL address, specific file extension, to the version to other website, or limitation to HTTP access method. Limitation like this cannot you do if just rely not. And reason number three is even though you want implement content caching, so proxy already increasing security level from your network. This is because computer user client not connect directly with server web that exists in the internet. Okay, so that is the couple reason why we more better use the web proxy. And okay, for the next, for the basic configuration. For the activating the web proxy at the Mikrotik, the command that you can use are like this, okay? Explanation option that use at the proxy configuration at the capture. Point number one, option enable equal yes is option that activate proxy. Point number two, option port equal port 8080. This is option that will running proxy at the port 8080. Later, all your browser must configure to sending HTTP request to port 8080. And for the next point number 3, option max case size equal unlimited, pointed to determine measurement router hard disk that will use to save content web at the cache system. Often says max case size set into kilobit. Actually, there are calculations that must do for make cache because that hard disk also must use for save operating system and configuration files. But for AC you can use optional unlimited. Okay, and point number 4 for the next option max case object size equal 4096, pointed maximum size web object that will cache. At the instant this configuration look that value, this option is 4096 kilobit. This pointed object or content web that magnitude above 4096 kilobit for Mbps will not cache by proxy. Okay, and for next point number 5, option cache on disk equal yes, pointed for utilize hard disk from Mikrotik so can save web content. If option cache on disk equal no, that cache so content that cache will save at the RAM. Whereas for configuration proxy with use Winbox, you can do drop menu IP and then web proxy like at this capture. Okay. After configuration proxy, so you must pointing browser, for example Mozilla Firefox. To can use proxy at the port 8080 at the router Mikrotik with IP address 10.10.10.1, you can do drop menu option port advanced tab network at the port connection case button setting like this capture. Okay, for the next we will discuss about access control. When you running the proxy, this is very important to pay attention about access control from the proxy. This access control will determine who that can use the proxy server from your router Mikrotik. If the access control is not configured properly, so will happen the open proxy, where your proxy can use by the other network beyond your network yourself, even the user from the internet as well. Because of that, you must configure your proxy server so the proxy server just can use at your local network. Configuration access control from proxy so just can use by network 10.10.10.0/24. Switch with earlier are like this capture. Okay. control access very important to effectiveness from configuration that intent. You cannot pressing line with source address equal 0.0.0.0/0 with action equal deny at the first sequence. This will make computer user at your local network will block when you use proxy. Same like that did by firewall filter at the chapter 3 earlier. How possible you have not let all IP address that start with IP 0.0.0.0/0 will you still want let the network 10.10.10.10.0/24 to use proxy. Command IP proxy access print not to giving clear depiction because option source address cannot you look. With using work configuration, this access control can look more complete. You can do drop menu IP and then web proxy and then button access like this capture. Okay. We will discuss about traffic filtering. You can do limitation access HTTPS that do with user computer to the specific file at the internet. For the example, you doesn't want if computer user can download file with extension .iso. That commonly the file size is 1000 Mbps. So the command that you can use are like this. Okay. Emphasize if sequence access control of the proxy will determine effective or not configuration result that we want. Line command that to block access to .iso file, you must place at the above line command that grant full access to network 10.10.10.0/24. How impossible you give access full already to computer user at the network 10.10.10.10.0/24, whereas I still want block download access to file ISO. So you can use option move to move line configuration at the access control proxy. Same like at the LAN firewall configuration at the last video. Structure access control that you make must look like this, okay? To block base URL address destination by computer user. For the example, one block access to set www.playboy.com. So command that you can use are like this. Okay. can do filter based word that exists into that URL. For the example, we'll block all set that contain porn word. Command that you can use are like this. Okay. Block access HTTPS also can combine with technique redirect to specific website. For the example, if their user computer that will access www.node.com, so that user will transfer to www.google.com. Command that you can use are like this. Okay. Because from that strand configuration must manage correctly so work with smooth. So sequence from access control example that's correct can you look like this. Okay, and for the next we will discuss about cache control. Content web that cache already will save at the local disk at the router. So you can look the cache with command like this. Okay. If the content you want to look drop the winbox, so the menu that you can use drop menu IP and then web proxy and then button cache content like the picture 4.8. As default, proxy will do storage cache and all can contain web like picture file .exe, .rar and etc. As long as this from router Mikrotik still possible to save that file. If your disk capacity to do caching small, you also still possible determine which website that you will cache. For the instant example, you not want proxy to cache to files with format .exe. So command that you can use are like this. Okay. other instance, if you want proxy not to cache to specific website, command that you can do are like this. With use winbox, so limitation configuration case before can look like this. Configuration before just for the instant. You certainly must can make limitation configuration case content based your network necessary. Line configuration sequence from case content before also very determines success or not final configuration that you want. If you're this full already with web content, so for empty of router Mikrotik disk, you can use command like this. If use winbox, you can use button clear case like this screen. Okay. Okay, for the next we will discuss about transparent proxy. The transparent proxy, this is the proxy that we can look from the client side. This is sometimes use the user computer doesn't know if between their browser and the web server exists the web proxy. Transparent proxy implement for user client at the browser not need again to configuration IP address and port proxy with the manual. Like at the discussion earlier, transparent proxy also used when you want to force all the traffic HTTP to the internet through the proxy and don't process through the NAT from the firewall. The implementation transparent proxy do we divert redirect traffic HTTP destination port 80 to port that use proxy port 8080. You can look picture 4.11 to look illustration process diversion HTTP packet that toward to internet to enter into proxy. To do redirect packet data HTTP, you must configure at the NAT firewall with send equal destination NAT and action equal redirect. Command that you can use are like this. Okay. network, so you can do through menu IP and then firewall and then top NAT, but we change equal destination NAT like this picture. Okay. Result between masquerade configuration and redirect at the NAT firewall, you can look like this. Okay, and for the next we will discuss about external proxy. Users proxy will drain resource from your Mikrotik router. This condition will more worse if turn out CPU that you use and memory at your router not have specification that's good enough. That happen finally will overload at the CPU and make the slow traffic to the internet that will deliver to computer user. So what the next step that I must do to force implementation proxy whereas your router specification is low? External proxy. Yes, that is solution. External proxy is proxy that running beyond your Mikrotik router. External proxy that many use is proxy with Linux system or BSD. If this step that you take, so proxy at the router can disable. So Mikrotik load reduce. You can look external proxy implementation at the picture 4.14. At that screen, external proxy content with Ether 3 will not connect with switch that connect to Ether 2. The same good network is network that separate server place or proxy with user computer. This is actually have purpose to increase security level from your network. You certainly not want that proxy doesn't work just because they are either user that running netcat is right. At that instant, proxy place at the separate network and use IP address 10.10.30.2/24. Next step is make external proxy itself. I would not explain how to make it. Now we discuss about Mikrotik. If I discuss proxy Linux or BSD, the topic will more fast. If you still not yet mastering Linux and when experiment, you can make external proxy which still use Mikrotik router. You can use main router become gateway with use router bot and build external proxy with use Mikrotik router and PC desktop. It's not that if you mastering proxy configuration Mikrotik already after watching my video. It's not that if desktop has big CPU capacity. Good combination is right. Let's be back to configuration at the Mikrotik router. Suppose that you use external proxy, anything proxy kind. Make sure if Ether 3 not slave interface from Ether 2, master port equal none. You can use command like this, okay? That you must do is configure IP address 10.10.30.1 at the interface Ether 3. You can use command like this. so must make sure if external proxy can access internet with proper. Command that you can use are like this. And finally, to do at the router Mikrotik actually same with what that did at the subchapter transparent proxy earlier. You just redirect all traffic HTTP that's toward internet to external proxy that exists at the Ether tree. Configuration must do at the NAT firewall with sign equal destination NAT and action equal destination NAT to IP address 10.10.30.2 at the port 8080. But don't forget to delete configuration that do divert to internal proxy. Command that you can use are like this, okay? explanation before, you can pay attention line with index 1 that divert configuration HTTP packet to internal proxy. This line must delete with use command like this, okay? So final configuration at the NAT firewall to use external proxy are like this. already finished to discuss all about Proxy at this video, and I hope you understand and have benefit to you for the future and increase your knowledge about Mikrotik. And I hope if you new at my channel, you can like and share or comment and subscribe as well. So see you at my video.
Hello everyone, if you are new at my channel, don't forget to like, comment, share, tag, and subscribe. Okay, thanks.